Hello and welcome to a video. I was fishing with pellet waggler earlier and I had a real good session, fish up to about 13 pounds. And I've just had a little look shallow and I've hooked into something big and it didn't take long. It's really pulling my arm off, this fish is. I'm on fairly decent tackle, so we should be alright. 15 hollow, 0.17 main line, 0.13 hook length. I started off with a fairly light hook length, that's the only thing I'm worried about. I had a great session up Cudmore. I qualified for the Junior Fish O Mania and I won it fishing this exact method, fishing long pole, shallow, and I just sort of wanted to relive the event as such, and so I just couldn't resist setting up the long pole and trying to catch a lump shallow, and the pole tip got dragged underwater straight away. Hopefully we'll have a couple more as well. We've only got, say, an hour, but should be long enough. Probably take about an hour to get this one in. Do fight hard in this lake, and it doesn't help that they're so big. I started off on the deck because I was feeding and saw a few bubbles come up. I'll drop in the deck. First drop in, I lost a bream, probably foul looked, and I foul looked another carp, lost that, hooked the carp in my mouth, but after only about 5 pounds. But as soon as you start foul looking fish when you're feeding over the top, that's the time to go shallow. I've had a lot of signs that there's fish up in the water. A few fish just circling the hook bait. There's nothing better than catching shallow. I think this is a big fish as well. Just seen it. Might be 7 or 8 pounds. Looks like a big common carp. Yeah, probably 7 or 8 pounds. Just take your time. I mean, in a match here, the last match I fished here was one with 20 pound. I come third with 18 pound, and that was 3 fish. So there's no point rushing these fish if they're that sort of size. It was one with 2 fish for 23 pound, I think. So they're certainly not small. I mean, I personally think I'm fishing light tackle for these. 15 hollow, so fairly loose, but these fish, not only are they a decent size, sort of 7 or 8 pounds, but they really fight. Might have a little bit of trouble fitting this one in the net. He's a big, long, lean fish. Oh, that didn't go to plan. Missed him first time. See that 15 hollow, and he's really pulling. Just going to use the puller bung with this, just to help tighten that elastic. It's always scary using a puller bung with such heavy elastic, because you don't want to put too much pressure on the top kit. I'm always worried about that. Oh, yes, get him there. Right lump that is. Hopefully we'll catch another 1 or 2 of these. I mean, it's not got too many fish in this lake. It's perfectly stocked. You have to work for every fish, which is sort of fishing I enjoy. Let me just put the top kit down and show you this lovely carp. Oh, there we go. probably £8. Real big chunk. Feels really heavy, but proper fishing up in the water on the pole. Right, well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm Junior Fish O Mania champion, chuffed to bits with that. And today I'd just like to show you sort of how I fish the match. As I said, I caught all my fish shallow. I caught 10 carp for just over 20 kilos. So they work out about £4 or £5 each. And I used this exact same rig, 017 mainline. This is Preston power line. I had two rigs set up, one with 015 hook mainline and an 013 hook length, and one with 017 to an 015 hook length. The lighter rig was on a 13 hollow, but I wouldn't dare use 13 hollow here. I'm using a PB Carp 2 float in a 4x10, the only float I use when fishing shallow now. And then I've got a bulk of 2 number 9s, just so when I slap the rig that creates 3 splashes, 3 little plops. I'm using an 18 PR36 with a 6mm pellet banded on. So in my last video when I was fishing meat up in the water, exactly the same rig, but instead of obviously meat with a quick stop, I'm banding on a pellet. Favourite rig for fishing up in water, and I've won a lot of matches using it. The only baits I've got with me today, a 6mm pellet, and I've got a handful of 8mm just in case the fish wants something a little bit bigger. Thin Perfect pellets, the best pellets in my opinion for commercial fisheries. Right, well, I've just had that big carp and I need to have another look. So less of a talking, let's get fishing. Just gonna put the sections on my pole, and instead of straight shipping out, I'm gonna loose feed a little bit of bait. I've got a deep rig set up for fishing an inch off the bottom, which that's what I caught a fish on right at the start, about £5 or £6. Nowhere near as big as the last fish I just landed. That's just in case the fish move down. Now all I'm going to do is slap that rig on the water to create a bit of noise. The fish love that, and I think I just had a little indication straight away. They're big fish, so you do tend to get quite a few liners.